Shane from Palya. Today I'll show you how to put a patch on your tube when it gets a hole in it. So the tools we're using today, to get the tube out, we need some tyre levers, and to fix the hole, we need a patch, some rubber cement, something to rough up the tube. So one of these little metal things or a bit of sandpaper will work well. A pump to pump up the tube, a texter, and a bucket of water. So I've taken the tube out and now I'm going to patch it. So the first thing I need to do is find the hole. So I'll put a bit of air in. And I'm going to listen and feel to see if I can find out where the hole is. And I can see it just here. I can hear it and I can feel it. The other way to check is to run your tube through a bucket of water. Put the tube in the water, run it through, and there we go, we can see the bubbles coming up out of the tube there. So I'm going to use a texter to mark the position of this hole. So the hole is, I'm doing nice long lines so that I can find, to make a cross, so that I can find this hole easily later on. There we go. And I'm going to rough up this area where the patch needs to go. Okay, I'm going to rough up a slightly larger area than the size of the patch. Now, we'll smear some rubber cement over the area. Now you can use the back of the patch. Smear this around evenly. Not too thick, but just a nice covering of rubber cement on that area. Okay, now we don't stick the patch on straight away. We actually need to leave it out to dry until it feels dry when you touch it. So to test, you'll touch around the edges like this and see if it's dry. So I'm going to stick this tube out in the sun for a few minutes until it's dried, and then I'll put the patch on. Okay, so our rubber cement is now touch dry. So I'm going to touch the very edge, don't touch the middle. You want to keep it nice and clean so the patch sticks well. You can see here it's touch dry. I'm then going to get my patch, peel the back off without touching the back of the patch. You don't want to be touching this bit here, or the oils from your fingers will get on there and make it adhere not as well as it would otherwise. Now I can see my lines still. I'm going to line up my patch with the hole, and I'm going to work it on. So you can even use one of these, just gently rub to the outside. Especially want to make sure that the outside edge of the patch is adhering well to the tube. And there we have it. Might let that dry for a little bit, and then I'll just check that it has adhered well. Okay, so the patch has now, I left it for a minute and the patch is well attached. I'm just going to check, just going to gently lift up here and I can see that the edges are all stuck down well. We'll leave on, see this plastic cover? Just leave that on there. It'll help protect the patch from the outside of the tyre. It's a good thing to have in there. Now the next thing I really need to do is see if we can find the prickle. Now, you can then find it, you can use a pair of pliers and pull that prickle out so that you don't get another puncture straight away. Okay, to reassemble, I will put a little bit of air in the tube. Just a little bit. We don't want to put lots of air in, or there's going to be undue pressure on the patch. Then insert the tube into the tyre, and then put the tyre back on the rim. So first put on one side of the tyre. Make sure my valve is pointing to the centre of the rim. And then I'll pop the other side of the tyre back on. In this case, the tyre is fairly loose, and I don't even need to use my tyre levers. Okay, now that tyre is ready to be pumped up back to 40 psi and reinstalled in the bike, and you've fixed a puncture on your tube.